Hi, this is Matthew Kinslow, author to the book Struggling the Issues and Unstoppable about living with autism, a condition that I never asked for, but I'm making the best of it and encouraging people along the way. This video is partly inspired by what I recently saw on Instagram, and also I just wanted to make a video like this anyway for a long time. So it's about autism and overthinking. Like, why is it that we might overthink on simple things? And that includes decision making on some of the most mundane parts of life, such as what we're going to order at a bakery or what we're going to choose at a convenience store or whatever. And so I was reflecting on my past, trying to find a few prime examples, and one of them was on the Catalina Flyer on my 18th birthday, July 22nd, 2013, and we were almost back at Balboa, and there were a lot of choices for snacks and drinks, and I just stood there thinking, what's the perfect one? And I don't know how long I was staying there, but all of a sudden the person, gave a little smile and said, you gotta make a decision soon. And so at that point I was kind of pressured to make a decision, so I got a Yoo-hoo. That actually reminded me of another story. On my 11th birthday, July 22nd, 2006, and my family and my church went over to San Diego, and we stopped somewhere to eat along the way. It was like a restaurant like Subway, like you tell the person what you want, and the workers started to get impatient and say, come on, you could do it, you could make another choice, choose one now, and everything like that. And for the past 3 years, I've been getting in the habit of trying new things, and it's kind of a bit of a pride moment for me with autism, trying new things. And in the past 3.5 years, I've been going to like different coffee shops, different bakeries, and just trying like everything on the menu one at a time. Okay, not every single thing, but still I find myself standing there and I'm taking my time and choosing, and the last thing I want is to make other people impatient, whether they're people waiting in line behind me or if it's the employee. And amid thinking some more, I recently thought of another example that I wanted to get out for like 15 years almost. December 19th, 2009, I was at Hometown Buffet, and it was like this big gathering with church friends, and as you can imagine, Hometown Buffet, there's all of these things that you could choose from. And I remember standing over by, I believe it was the barbecue ribs, and I was just standing there making up my mind and just contemplating, and while I was deep in thought, all of a sudden it was interrupted by, hey, are you okay? And I looked up and there was an employee looking at me wide-eyed and was like, are you okay? And I snapped out of the decision-making process and I said, oh yes, I'm just choosing. And he's like, okay, but in my mind I'm like, hello, I'm just choosing, okay? Is there a problem with that? And with my autistic brain, I mean, that was almost 15 years ago. I still haven't forgot about that. In fact, that employee's look made me feel like he was assuming something. And it looked like he was about to take some precautionary measures. I mean, I'm not saying that he was like an ableist or anybody like that. But ever since that moment, I thought about how I could have enhanced that response. I would have said, oh yes, I'm just making up my mind. I mean, you guys have so many good and delicious things, it's hard to choose. In fact, that's actually what I say nowadays. Like if I go to a local bakery, I say, there's just so many choices, and they're like, I know, right? And they usually always have a smile, so I'm relieved that I'm not a burden to them. And another strategy that I found, besides saying, oh, everything looks so good, it's hard to choose, even though I mean that, is asking the employee or the barista, so what's in this drink? Or how would you say this tastes if you know? Or what would you recommend? And that both buys some time in decision making as well as, finding out some honest answers on how things taste. So I thought I'd share those things before continuing, but not only do I take pride in being able to try new things, but also the sense of being independent as well. And so there have been lots of times where, I just pointed and made a decision. And I'm kind of thinking, why does it take a long time for me to make decisions, even if it be subtle, like a pastry or a drink? And I just don't know why. What I saw on the Instagram page is that people might take a long time because they fear or have anxiety of making the wrong choice. For me, it's kind of a bit like, well, I have to make a choice today and I may not be able to make another choice until the next day. Unless, of course, I go to the same place like 50 times that day, but I don't want to do that. So I thought about other moments in my life where it's not like picking a drink or a snack, but rather, like my college major. It took me 3 years to pick biochemistry as my major. Although in reality, picking biochemistry took seconds, but actually, taking the time to sit down and choose one took a few years as I was, going through the core curriculum. I don't know, I guess academically I wanted to make the right choice because I guess choosing a major might be life-altering in a way. Okay, maybe not necessarily. So yeah, some choices are life-altering, but most, aren't. And I like what they said in that Instagram post. It's like, sometimes we might have anxiety or fear that we make the wrong choice. I just don't know what else to say other than to validate that it's true. I do gotta say, actually, when I was a carnival ticket seller at the Orange County Fair in 2018 and 2019, I try new things all the time, down to my very first day of work, July 13th, 2018. And I wanted to try all this fair food that smelled so good. The only thing is, I only had a 30-minute break, and I had to, like, choose what I really want on any particular day, or I have to wait till the next day. So making up my mind sometimes is like a calculus exam. Not really a fair analogy for me because I love calculus, mostly. But I hope that everyone gets what I'm trying to say. There's one time though that I just got to get out, and I don't remember what you call them. I think they're like cheese dogs. It's like a corn dog, but instead of meat it was cheese. And there's like cheddar and pepper jack, and I remember going up to them and I'm like, I haven't tried this before. What's the best thing? The vendor looked at me in the eyes and gave a closed lip smile and said, try the pepper jack. And he had a mustache, so I had to get it. I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist. I mean, I don't know what a mustache has to do with it, but it made me purchase it, and yes, I waited over a half decade to get that story out. And so basically that's what I have for this video without going on and on and on and on and telling my life story. So if you have like any input or any first-hand experience, please feel free to leave a comment, as I encourage multiple perspectives and fruitful discussion. Thank you for watching and have a great day.